Hi everyone, this is Kruti Jai Pancholi, Assistant Professor in LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. This video is about subject Microwave Engineering. From this video, you will learn about transmission waveguide, rectangular and circular waveguide. Very first, what is the waveguide and what is the transmission line? The waveguides are nothing but the transmission line that is having the single conductor and which is used for the propagation of the microwave and millimeter waves. Transmission line, that is the two parallel wire or the two wire structure which transfers the electromagnetic energy from the one point to another point. The physical separation between the two wires that depends directly proportional to the wavelength of the signal transmitting through it. Now we need to study about the structure of the transmission line or the waveguide. This we can do by using the wave analysis or from the study of the various mode of the propagation, that is the transverse electric, transverse magnetic and the transverse electromagnetic. So that we can study, and we can study about this another waveguide structure that are like the rectangular waveguide and the circular waveguide. So by the study of the various dominant mode which is present in the waveguide parameters like the phase velocity, the cutoff frequency, we can study any transmission line or the waveguide. Another thing is the transmission line or the waveguide that supports the various mode of the propagation. So therefore, before studying analyzing any waveguide structure, we need to analyze different types of the waves. In our syllabus, that is our unit number 2, that is mathematical model of a microwave transmission. In this video we will learn about both the things. So there are three mode of the propagation. Then that are the transverse electromagnetic wave, which we can refer as a TEM wave. Another is transverse electric wave, it's a TE wave. And the transverse magnetic wave, that is the TM wave. What is a TEM mode of propagation? In the TEM mode of the propagation, the transverse electric and the transverse magnetic mode that can be characterized by the Ez, that is the electric component in the Z direction, and Hz, that is the magnetic field component in the direction of the propagation, that is the Z. So this Ez and the Hz both are zero. We can refer that as the electric field, magnetic field and the direction of the propagation are perpendicular to each other. Similarly, about the TE wave, transverse electric wave. In the transverse electric wave, Ez component, that is the propagation of the electric field, that is in the direction of the propagation, that is the Z, is equal to 0. So in the TE wave, the electric field component is not present and the value of that Ez is equal to 0. While in the TM mode, transverse magnetic mode, in that the Hz component is 0 and while the Ez component that is present. So this way we can classify the TEM, TM and TE component. TEM, Ez is equal to 0, Hz is equal to 0. Then TE, Ez is equal to 0, Hz is not equal to 0, and Tm, the Tm Hz is equal to 0 and Tm is equal to 0. So the for the TEM mode, electric field and the magnetic field and the direction of propagation, they are perpendicular to each other, and we can study over here that the propagation through this guide, that is not possible, and we can say that the TEM wave that exists inside the hollow guide of any space. So now the introduction about this is a waveguide does the same job at microwaves, which the transmission line usually do at relatively low frequency. At microwaves, it is more convenient to talk in terms of the electric and magnetic fields rather than V and I. In a waveguide, electric and magnetic fields are confined within the hollow space of the guide, and thus no power is lost through radiation. Here this is the structure of the rectangular waveguide. It is shown in the figure A. This is the structure of the circular waveguide in the B. Here it is shown that the rectangular waveguide that is filled with the material which is having the permittivity, it is epsilon r. Over here this is the circular waveguide. Here is the inner part of that is having the permittivity epsilon r2, and this structure that is having the permittivity epsilon r2. So here you can see that the two different waveguide structure. One is the rectangular waveguide and another one is the circular waveguide. Later we'll see the difference between the rectangular waveguide and the circular waveguide. But the rectangular waveguide that is having a more usage with the in the practical purpose, while the circular waveguide, it occupies the larger space. So due to that there is a less use of the circular waveguide. But the very good example of the circular waveguide, that is the magnetron, and which is used in the microwave oven. So we can keep in mind the best example for understanding more about the circular waveguide. Due to the air being the dielectric that fills the hollow region within the guide, the dielectric loss is also negligible. Further, if we choose a metal having the good conductivity like the copper for constructing waveguide walls, then the conductor losses or ohmic losses at the guide walls are also negligible. Now with this I want to just add the things that whenever the waveguides that is used for transmitting the signal at the higher frequency, in case of the space applications, instead of such kind of the copper or other good material, they are using the gold, okay, inside the waveguide structure, so that there is no absorptions of the wave inside the circular waveguide body, and we do have the more amount of the transmission. So that is why it can be the another solution for reducing the losses with the waveguide. Thus a waveguide that acts as a lossless medium of transferring the microwave signals from one point to another point. A waveguide is nothing but a conducting tube through which energy is transmitted in the form of EM waves. So it can be considered to be as a boundary which confines the waves to the space enclosed by the boundary walls. Analysis of regulatory shape waveguides becomes very difficult. This is the two waveguide, rectangular waveguide and the circular waveguide. So rectangular waveguide, as I say, it's more popular. So rectangular waveguide is characterized by its wide dimension A, okay, wide dimension A, and a narrow dimension, that is B. Circular waveguide. Circular waveguide is characterized by the internal diameter D. So this is the two different waveguide. Waveguide modes. Again, this is our chapter number 2. Okay, that is the waveguide modes. There could be in general be infinite number of possible electric and magnetic field configurations inside the waveguide if there is no upper limit for the frequency of the signal. Now this field configuration, that is known as the mode. So there are two types of the mode mainly, as I said earlier. TM mode, how do you remember? Magnetic, transverse magnetic, then magnetic field is absent. Transverse electric, then electric field is absent. Which component is absent? Then direction of the propagation. Okay, so if we are considering the direction of the propagation, that is the Z direction, the TM mode, okay, in that the which component? HZ component is 0 and EZ is not 0. TE mode, transverse electric mode, then in the transverse electric mode the EZ component is 0, HZ is not 0. So now here TM and TE mode. TM mode. In TM mode, magnetic lines are entirely transverse to the direction of the propagation of EM wave. In the TE mode, the electric field lines are entirely transverse to the direction of the propagation. The electric field has a component in that direction. The magnetic field has component along the direction of the propagation. So here we can note the things, that is the both the TM and TE are designated by two subscript. The first subscript indicates that the number of half wave variation in the electric field in the wide dimension of the waveguide, whereas the second subscript indicates the variation along the narrow dimensions. So this you have to remember while they are providing the data in the example, that TM and TE are designated by two subscript, TM MN. In the subscript it is written MN, TE MN. What the first subscript indicates? Number of half wave variation. How many? TM1 if it is written 10, then 1 mean variation of the electric field in the wide dimension of the waveguide, and second indicates the variations along the narrow dimensions, mean the wide dimensions and the narrow dimensions that you have seen over here in the diagram, that the wide dimension is A and the narrow dimensions, that is B. Then what are the variations along these directions that we have to look at carefully. So here you can see this is the complicated diagram, but it is easy to easy to remembering, okay, or understanding. This I have shown that this is the wave propagation, fine. It is the TE mode, okay, TE mode, fine. So TE mode, you can see that these are the electric field variation, that is like this, and magnetic field, okay, that is the loop, okay. So this way you can see that it is the TE mode. TM mode, okay, TM mode, in that you can see that the magnetic flux lines appearing, okay, that as the continuous loop in this direction, fine, in the direction, and in the direction of the propagation, and electric flux lines, okay, that begins from this particular point and which will be end at this point. So this way you can see that in the TE mode, transverse electric mode, what I said earlier, TE mode mean which component is absent? EZ component is absent. So EZ component that is absent, okay, and HZ component that is present. So you can see the diagram of this and diagram of this. TE10, what I said, the 1, what this 1 indicate? So as I said, TE10, 10 mean 2 subscript 10, the first subscript indicate the number of half wave variation in the electric field in the white dimension. What is the white dimension? Again please keep in mind, it is white dimension is A, okay. So now what you will understand over here, that the A, fine, so you can see the half variations in the direction, okay, in this direction electric field 0, fine, so in with this there is no variation. Over here 2 mean 2 half variations, so I can see that 2 half variations. In this dimension there is no. Here the 3, so you can see that 1, 2 and 3 variations that I found. So this way whenever the diagrams are given to you, you have to understand it, okay, what does it mean actually. So it is about the rectangular waveguide and the subscript value. TE mode in the rectangular waveguide, fine. TE10, fine. What is TE10? Here you can see that TE10 it shows like this. Similarly TE electric field it is there, so I am showing it by this arrow, fine. So again it is in the white dimension A. Again this is 20, so you can see that the 2 variations, fine. TE11, now you can see the TE11. What is TE11? Then I can say that the TE11 mean the variations in the white dimension, okay, that is the 1. Similarly in the this direction also, in the this narrow dimensions also me having the variation. So TE21, you can see that, okay, this is the variations, and over here again you can see the variations. So this way all the diagrams, okay, that you can see it. So over here TE modes in the rectangular waveguide, that we can see here it carefully. So we are living up to this. Next time we will discuss more about this waveguides, okay. So thank you very much everyone.